Theruvan Sarna, everyone. The name of the sutra today is Maha Mangala Suthrya. Maha Mangala Suthrya. How this the story behind this is, everyone wanted to know what a proper blessing was, and everyone had that question. So what they did was they were talking to each other, asking what a proper blessing was from each other. And this went to started from the humans, but then it went to the gods, and everyone was asking, what do you think is a proper blessing? And then finally this went to Lord Buddha. So this is the reason for this Maha Mangala Suthrya. So the start of the sutra is Evam me sutang ekang samayam bhagava savatyam viharati jetavane Anathapindikassa arame. So that means Tathagatan Vahanse, while he is residing at staying at Jetavanarame, Athako anyatara devata bhikkhantaya ratya bhikkhantavannā kevala kappan jetavanan obasetva yena bhagavati upasankamitva Bhagavantan abhivadetva ekamantan attasi ekamantan tita kosa devata bhagavantan gataya ajjabasi. So this is like most of the sutras you can hear this bit, which is how the story started. So they are talking about how the devas had this question of they had this question of what the real blessing is, and then finally came to Lord Buddha to ask what a real blessing is. Then starts the and they also say Bahudeva Manussacha Mangalani Achintayung Akankamana Sottanam Bruhi Mangala Muttamang. So please tell us what the most important blessings are, if there are, for the benefit of the devas and the humans. So that's when the sutra starts. There are 38. I will go one by one. First of all, like the Arya Ashtangika Marga, or the eightfold path, I explained that there were two. One was the mundane or laukika path, and then there was the lokottara, transcendental path. So for this Mangala Sutra as well, most people, they believe on the laukika one, the mundane one. That is not the real 38 blessings that Lord Buddha recited. So you will understand, I will explain both, but I will focus more on the Lokottara or the Arya 38 blessings. While explaining them, I will here and there mention about the Laukika ones as well, so that you get an idea. Right? So the first one starts with Asevanacha Balanam Panditanancha Sevana Pujacha Pujaniyanam Etam Mangala Muttamam. This Etam Mangala Muttamam means these are Mangala Karana, or these are the blessings. So in this first verse, they are talking about three blessings. The first one is Asevanacha Balanam. Asevanacha Balanam. The Balanam means people who do not understand Dhamma, or who hasn't become a noble person. So a person who's not got the understanding is known as a Balaya. Ando Balo Puthajjano. Puthajjana means a person who hasn't got the understanding, or who hasn't comprehended Dhamma. Asevanacha Balana means not associating with a Bala, or ignoble people, or Anarya person. The reason for avidya, So we talk about avidya pacca sankara viññāna nama rupa salayatana, the paticca samuppada. But if someone asks what the reason for avidya is, the reason for avidya is pāpa mitra sevanaya, as in associating with bala, or people without the understanding. What happens when you associate with people without the understanding is that they give a value to the things in the world. They say, oh, you have to watch this movie, oh my God, you must watch this movie, or you have to go to this restaurant, you have to eat this, you have to buy this, this is the best. So what they do is they give a value and make it very valuable and interesting. That's one reason why you go behind designer things. Because if you look at a designer bag and a normal bag, so the reason for someone to buy a bag is to put some things in. As long as you can lock it, or it can carry what you are supposed to carry, it should be enough ideally. But people go for designer bags. Why? To show off. Because people believe, other people think, oh, you are posh or you are rich when you carry a designer bag. So those kind of things come from the bala. So that is why asevanacha balana. So you need to not associate with bala, or you need to reduce the association. Even here the associating means, it doesn't mean that you should not talk to anyone. It means that you shouldn't follow them, you shouldn't be like them. That is what associating means, right? Because even Devadatta was associating with Tathagatayan Vahanse, but didn't do anything. So when it means associating, it's following that person. When it means not associating, it means not following, right? Then the second one, the second blessing is Panditanancha Sevana. Panditanancha. Pandita. Here the Pandita is associating with the Pandita. Pandita is the Arya people or the noble people. So you need to associate with noble people. That is when you get to listen to Dhamma. And that is the only way to comprehend Dhamma. In order for someone to understand Dhamma, you have to listen to Dhamma. So how you listen to Dhamma is by associating with a noble person who knows Dhamma. The third one is Pujacha Pujaniyana. Pujacha Pujaniyana. So Pujacha Pujaniyana means admiring and respecting those worthy of respect, as in the noble. So when one understands Dhamma, they understand who to respect, who the worthy are to respect. So that's when you get the feel of Natti me saranang anyam, Buddho me saranang varang. Right? So this is what that means. Pujacha Pujaniyana. That is the third blessing. Then you move on to the next verse, which is Patirupadesa Vasocha Pubbecha Kata Punyata Atta Samma Panidicha Etam Mangala Muttama. Again, there are three blessings explained here. Patirupadesa Vasocha. So what does Patirupadesa Vasocha mean? It means residing in a suitable locality for easy access to the noble and to walk the path. Right? In the mundane, in the Laukika explanation, here they mean, oh, you live in a suitable place. But it's not just a suitable place, it's a suitable place for you to walk the path, for you to have access to the noble people. Pubbecha Kata Punyata. Pubbecha Kata Punyata means before doing anything important, it's good to do something meritorious. Because what happens when you do something meritorious is you you become happy. So this will make you happy. When you do something with a happy mind, the outcome becomes good. Because Mano pubbangama dhamma mano setta manomaya manasache pasannena basativa karotiva natonan sukamanveti chayava anapayini. So this is from a Dhammapada Gatha. It says, when you do something with a happy mind, with a pure mind, with a good mind, the effects of that will come behind you like a shade and give something back to you in a good way. Right? So, Atta Samma Panidīca. Atta Samma Panidīca. That is the sixth blessing. What is Atta Samma? Samma, you know Samma. Getting rid of Sang is Samma. Atta. So, you make that Atta. Not Anaththa, but Atta. That is, you make this valuable. What do you make it valuable? Nibbana. So one's mind properly directed towards Nibbana. So Atta Samma. So Samma becomes Atta. Before that, it wasn't Atta. Right? Then Bahu Satchancha Sippancha. Then goes to the next verse, which is Bahu Satchancha Sippancha Vinayocha Susikkito Subhasitacha Yavacha Etam Mangala Muttama. So Bahu Satchancha Sippancha. What is Bahu Satchancha Sippancha? Bahu Satchancha means you become profound learning of Dhamma, and you get more interested in learning Dhamma more and more. So another thing I actually forgot to say is this 38 takes you from a normal person towards Nibbana. This is the path to Nibbana. In other words, even though it's the 38 blessings, there is an order to this. So you start with Asevanacha Balanang. So you stop associating with the Bala, and then you get closer to the Pandita, as in the people, noble people. Then Pujacha Pujani, then you understand who to respect. Patirupa Desa Vashoji, then you get to a place where it's suitable for you to learn Dhamma and walk the path. Then Atta Samma, then that becomes Nibbana, becomes your priority. Bahu Satchancha Sippancha, then you learn more and more Dhamma. You become more interested in Dhamma. You want to listen to more Dhamma. Sippancha means, and then you start practicing Dhamma. First you learn Dhamma, then you practice Dhamma. Vinayoja Susikkito. Vinaya means discipline. Well-learned moral discipline automatically comes without too much effort. So therefore, this person starts behaving well. Subhasitacha Yavacha. Subhasita. What is Subhasita? Subhasita means you speak nicely, you speak graciously. This is Samma Vacha. In the eightfold path, this is Samma Vacha. More and more interest in talking about Dhamma as well. And your speech, you have the right speech. Now, Mata Pitu Upattana. Mata Pitu. Mata is the mother. Pitu is the father. So here in the mundane explanation, they talk about respecting and treating your parents well. But the real Mata and real Pita for a noble person is Ama Mani Buddhu Piyanan. So it is Lord Buddha is the Mata and the Pita both. So having respect, proper respect for Lord Buddha, Mata Pitu Upattana, giving respect to Lord Buddha, with being proper, by being a proper disciple. and following Buddha, right? And care much for Arya Sangha and other Aryas, because they are Buddha Putra. So the Buddha Putra, that is the next one actually, Mata Pita Upattana Putta Dharasa Sangho. So Putta Dharasa means here, means the Putra. In the normal mundane explanation, they talk about your family, as in your wife and the kids. But in the Arya explanation, what here they mean is Putra. The real Putra of Tathagatan Vahanse is the Rahatan Vahanse. Dhara, or the kids, Daru or kids, means the other noble people. So in transcendental meaning, that means that you have a lot of respect for the other noble people, because you know that's how you got to this path. Anakulacha Kammanta, the 13th blessing, or the next step towards the path, is Anakulacha Kammanta. Kammanta. It's the Samma Kammanta in the eightfold path. Now what do you do? Is business pursuits. You do peaceful and free from conflicts and with immorality. Free from conflicts and immorality. So you do moral things, and you become open and transparent, nothing behind the back. So you do a good job, but you do it peacefully and without conflicts, and a good job that will not involve with any immoral activities. Then Dhanancha Dhammacharyacha. So Dhanancha means Dana. Dana are acts of giving. So when you say acts of giving, it's a dana. That means you can contribute towards a dana. You can give food to someone. You can give things to someone. You can, on top of that, there is a deeper meaning. Dana is letting it go. So that is how we practice the letting go. So when we start giving, we enjoy giving, and then finally we become a person without holding things. We enjoy giving more than keeping it. So that is how you let go things. Dahanancha Dhammacharyacha. Dhammacharyacha is Dhamma Charya. So you act according to the Dhamma. That's one meaning. And you become Dhamane Charya. Dhamane Charya. What is Dhamane? Dhamane is becoming a tamed person. So now you're tamed. You're not fierce as before. Now you're very tame. Anyone can approach you. Before it was so hard to approach to you and talk to you. Right? Now it's different. Dhammacharyacha. Jnatakanancha Sangho. So what is the Jnatiyo? Jnatiyo in the mundane explanation, here this means the relatives. But in the proper explanation, in the Lokottara explanation, this Jnatiyo means Vissasa Paramanyati. Vissasa Paramanyati. Who you can trust is the proper relative in the Lokottara explanation. So who you can trust here is the noble people. You can't really trust anyone who's attached to the world, who's trying to fulfill the senses in the world, trying to acquire everything, because they will do anything they can to cheat you or do anything. They don't mind doing the 10 immoral activities, but an Arya person or a noble person would mind doing immoral activities. He doesn't want to do any immoral activities. So those are the people who you can trust, right? And also, in a deeper meaning, for a noble person, ayuvanna sapa bala prajna are also good friends. So when one gives dana, he gets ayuvanna sapa bala prajna, right? Nātakananca sangho anavajjani kammani. So doing correct actions, the 17th step or the 17th blessing is doing correct actions that will drive towards Nibbana. So those are the correct in terms of Nibbana. Having no desire for sins, because the desire is for Dhamma and the desire is for walking the path. So now this person is walking the path. He's come to the path, now he's walking the path. So he's trying to avoid sins as much as he can. I'm not saying he's stopped all his sins. That is when one becomes Arihatun, but he's walking the path and he's trying to avoid sins. He's trying to be as good as he can. Then Arati Virati Papa. Arati. Rati is the desire. So the desire here, now the desire is for Dhamma. The desire is for walking the path. So what happens is, he avoids from the sins. He doesn't like, or he doesn't have a desire for sins. That is Arati. Virati is he abstracts, abstain from sins. So we talked about this, the Satara Samya Pradhana. In the Satara Samya Pradhana, we talked about stop doing immoral activities one was doing before. So that is one of them. So that is what Virati means. Virati Papa. Papa means pau. Pau as in sins. Majjapanancha sannamo. So here the Majjapanancha means, in a normal meaning, they talk about intoxicants or drinking. But in the proper deep meaning, they are talking about referring to refraining from all intoxicants. Here the intoxicants refer to Panchakama intoxicants. So be disciplined by what you drink from the eye, ear, nose, tongue and body. Right? Because when we look at something, if we get attached to it, some people get drunk looking at things. You don't have to drink alcohol to be drunk. When you're walking somewhere, you see something nice, wow, and then you stop. You forget where you are going. Now you're looking at that. It could be anything. It could be a woman. It could be a movie. It could be anything. It could be a car. So you even forget what were you doing, and now you stopped. So that is being drunk by the eye, and then from the ear, the nose, tongue. You smell something and oh my God, that smells nice. Shall we go to this restaurant? You weren't even going to have dinner from a restaurant. You were going to go home and have dinner, but now you changed your mind after you got the nice smell from the restaurant nearby. So things like that. So all these you need to control. You start controlling now because you're walking the path. Appamadocha dhammesu. Now he is not appamada. So he's not getting delayed anymore. He's trying to do this soon. He's trying to walk the path soon. He knows that delaying the process is not going to help him. Diligent in practice of Dhamma. Then Garavocha, Nivatocha, Santutticha, Katanyuta. So those are 4. Garavocha. What is Garavocha? Is reverence. Knows who to admire and what to admire. Because he is walking the path, he is seeing the Nibbana. Now he understands what the Nibbana is. So he knows who to admire and what to admire. That is Garavocha. Nivatocha. Humility. Becomes humble and lack of pride. So he's not, that person is not trying to show off. He doesn't need to show off. Right? A lack of pride. Santutticha. Contentment. He comes to the real happiness and pleasure now. So he sees the real happiness. Therefore he becomes content. Katanyuta. Krutanya bhavya. Gratefulness. He becomes grateful, deeply appreciative and thankful for the people who helped. It could be anyone who helped. It doesn't have to be help towards Nibbana. It could be the wife, it could be the kids. Because even from the kids, you can learn, right? You can take an example and you can take that as a teaching. So if, for example, if your wife is very angry all the time with you, you can take, wow, this is a good test for me. Let me try and pass the test. So this is because you had that wife. Now you can test yourself. Imagine you had a really nice wife and she is always nice to you, and you had really good friends and you had really nice kids. You wouldn't know where you are. You wouldn't understand. Why? Because there is no test. Then when the first test comes, you will fail because you haven't practiced it. But when you have practiced, you know, oh, she's got angry. Who's got angry? The other person, not you. So you don't need to worry. The other person has the problem, not you, yourself. So these are good examples. These are very good for you to practice Dhamma. So take everything as a test. So then you become very appreciative and thankful. So you don't get angry. Yeah, she gets angry. That's how she is. So you get used to it. And you understand, okay, these are worldly people. Worldly people get angry. They are attached to so many things. They have a lot of desires. They have a lot of hopes. So as soon as they lose the hope, or they lose the attachment, or they feel like they are not getting what they want, they get angry. They suffer. They are the ones who suffer. We should not suffer because of them. Right? So, Santutticha Katanyuta. Kalena Dhamma Savanam. So now when you are in this state, now this is the 26th blessing. So you're on the 26th step, shall I say. This is the best time to hear Dhamma and get deep and deep understanding, ready to go along the path further and further. Now you have an understanding, now you get to the deep understanding. So say you're Sotapanna, you can go to Sakadagami, Anagami by listening to Dhamma now, because you have created the background properly. Kanticha, Kanti, Shantiya, becomes patient. Now you're patient. You don't jump around as before. I'm not saying you're totally patient and you don't get angry at all. You might get angry here and there, but you realize, oh, I got angry. What happened to me? I shouldn't get angry. So that is the mental status. But you at least you realize you got angry. Maybe the first time you got angry, you realized it after a few hours, maybe, or after some time. But when you do more and more practice, you realize faster, which is much better. You progress, and then when you are really good, you realize at the time of when you get the anger, and then you calm down. What is the purpose of getting angry? The worldly people get angry because they are attached. There's nothing for me to get angry about. That's how they are, right? So it's like a balloon. If a person understands a balloon pops, then he's not going to cry over it. He knows a balloon, when you fill air with it, it pops. So that is how a balloon is. So you understand the reality. So that is how the worldly people are. You understand the reality. So there's nothing to be angry about. You're just facing the truth. You're ready to face the truth, right? Sova chasata. Now you see the real. Now you become meekness. When corrected, you become really a calmed person now, right? And samananancha dasanam, samananancha dasanam. Here the samana means shamana, but shamana has two meanings. The deeper meaning is samana. You raga samana, dvesha samana, moha samana. Samana means getting rid. Here, or you keep it down. That is what it means. So what you do is you put effort towards raga kaya, dvesha kaya, and moha kaya, because you understand that that is what is going to take you towards Nibbana. Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha, the 30th one. The 30th blessing is Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha. Dhamma Sakaccha, Dham discussions, Dham discourses. So now you start doing more and more discourses, you start talking about Dhamma more and more. You want to learn more and more Dhamma, you want to understand more and more. You want to, you understood for a certain extent, but you want to know more. Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha. Discussing the Dhamma at the proper time and practicing Dhamma. Dhamma Saha Kaccha means Saha Krutya. So you are not just talking about Dhamma, but you start practicing Dhamma at the same time. Tapocha Brahmacharyacha. Arya Satchana Dasana. Tapocha. Tapocha means you raga, dvesha and moha tapa. You energetically self-restrain. Now you put the effort towards the last bit. Now you're very closer to achieving Nibbhana. So you have walked so far in the path of Nibbhana. Now you put the more and more effort towards getting rid of what is left. You see what is left. You see the raga, dvesha and moha that is left when you look at yourself, because you're always looking at yourself, right? You're looking at your mind and seeing, oh, where did the raga arise? Where did the dvesha arise? So you're tackling, you're testing yourself more and more. And then you can see, oh, here I get some raga, so I am attached here. Here I have some sort of a little bit of the dvesha. Why do I have dvesha there? Because I am attached to something to do with that. When my kid does something wrong, I get a bit angry. When my wife does something wrong, I get a little bit angry. Not as angry as before, but I get a little bit angry. So now you understand, oh, because there is a little bit of attachment left, right? It has reduced quite a lot, but I still get a little bit worried, and I am a little bit scared about them. So this scare, the worry, everything is attached to the desire. Now you understand this. And Brahmacharyacha. So Tapocha Brahmacharyacha. Now the 32nd one is Brahmacharya. Now you come to the state where this living with a family is not going to help me walking the path, the rest of the path. Now you change your mind. No, I need to let everything go. This is the right time. I need to get this done with. Now you have a mental status where you don't feel like living with a family. So this is more of an anagami state we are talking about here. Brahmacharya, become holy. Like you want to become like an Arihatun Vahanse. You are almost there but not still there. Right? And then Nibbhana tapocha brahmacharyacha arya satchana dassana. Now you see more and more insight to the noble truths, and then you slowly complete. You're getting really close to completing the path. You're almost there now. And then Nibbhana satchikiryacha. Now you achieve the Nibbana. 34th one is Nibbhana satchikiryacha. Now the achievement of the Nibbana. 35th one, Puttassa loka dhammehi chittang yassana kampati. Now you come to the state where Puttassa loka dhammehi. Loka dhamma means the worldly dhamma. Chittang yassana kampati. You don't get offended. You don't get shaken by the worldly matters. So the mind is unshaken by ups and downs of worldly things. So that is what Puttassa loka dhammehi chittang yassana kampati means. Then the 36th one is Asokang. 37th one Virajang. 38th one Kemang. Asokang Virajang Kemang Etam Mangala Muttamang. So Asokang means there is no soka. Soka is the sorrow, the unhappiness. Now you achieved the freedom. Now you achieved the real happiness, the inner peace. The ultimate happiness has been achieved. Virajam. And freedom from defilements of passion. Nibbhana with total calmness. And Kemang. Kemang means there is no fright. There is no you're not scared anymore. There is nothing to be scared about because there is no attachment to the world. Perfect security. So that is where the Arihatun Vahanse's mindset is. So Asokam Virajang Kemang is the same mind status but in different words, explained in different words. In terms of there is no scare. That's why the scare is gone. So these are the 38 blessings that Tathagatayan Vahanse explained, and that is what is explained in the Maha Mangala Suthrya, but they are step by step path towards the Nibbana. So if you contemplate, you can just think about them and then see where you are in the path. You must be somewhere on the path. So where you are, what needs to be done next, where am I, what am I doing wrong. So this is a good comparison that you can do. You can do a gap analysis and see where you are and where you should be and what you are doing wrong. So this is how you need to walk the path. This is a one way of walking the path. I hope you all understood. So that is the Maha Mangala Sutra. This is a very, very valuable sutra. This is a very powerful sutra. They say Tung Sutra. Karaniya Metta Sutra, Ratana Sutra, and Maha Mangala Sutra. These three they consider as very, very valuable and powerful, and they recite this in the mornings and in the evenings, these three sutra. So this is one of the very powerful sutras. If you can recite, then you get to, now you understand the meanings as well, and then you can get to know more about the sutra as well as the meanings, and then you understand the path very well by doing this. Hope you all understood that.